Hello everybody and welcome to day one of Waxvent. Yay!
It's nearly Christmas.
It's nearly Christmas. So basically, if you've never seen the channel before, you've never seen Waxvent before, what we do is a very special thank you to all our subscribers and members. We basically do a video every single day. So it's like an advent calendar full of earwax, which sounds absolutely horrible now you say it like that, but basically that's what's going to happen. You're going to video every single day up until and including, I don't know if we're doing Christmas this year, but definitely Christmas Eve. Yeah. Not sure about Christmas, we'll see how we get on. Yeah. But yes, but this is Taylor's video. Sit back, eggnog, wherever
grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. Just you might as well get your dinner as well. Yeah. This is like, well, as you can see by the video, it's like 25 minutes long. And there is only the one patient in this one, so we're starting Waxvent with a super complex, tricky, difficult one.
Yeah, long one, first of all, you saw the guys, yeah.
So this is, essentially this patient has a condition called Keratosis Obturans. And what that basically is it's where the ear kind of over accumulates or over produces the skin in the ear. Is it like kind of an easier way of explaining it?
Yeah, but it's like loads and loads of layers of skin. So your skin layers dry up and then they basically detach, and the next layer underneath dries up, detaches, next layer underneath dries up, detaches. So what you end up with is these kind of
like an onion
layers and layers and layers of skin that compress together. And that skin then hardens, becomes keratin, and it just becomes an absolutely solid plug of skin.
Yeah, and this is basically what we usually see with it. When I first looked in the ear, I thought, it looks pretty full. It looks nice and soft. Didn't know it was Keratosis Obturans to start with until I started going at it.
It just looks like wax, doesn't it? In fairness.
It catches you off guard. I mean, there are some occasions where you can tell in a way if it's not quite as full, but some of the telltale signs that we normally see in ear canals with Keratosis Obturans, especially if it's been in there a long time, which like this one potentially has been in there for quite a while. You can sometimes, so you don't normally tell until you've taken quite a bit of it away, because you can sometimes see what we would class as remodelling. So sometimes you can see the ear canal has these like little bumps, almost like dents in the ear canal. Some of them are very, very deep. In the sort of worse scenarios, when it's a more later stage of Keratosis Obturans, you can actually see some, remind me of the word again, my mind's gone blank.
What we're looking at? Sorry.
As the ear starts to heal, the tissue, fleshy tissue. Like
a sloughy kind of. Oh my!
My mind's gone completely blank, guys. So apologise. It'll come back to us now. I shouldn't have even started saying that.
That's going to bug me now.
I know, I'm constantly thinking about it now. Anyway, so we've got the standard size Zollner 2, and what I'm trying to do here is peel it away. Essentially, we're trying to peel it away, but it is such a tough material. There's no real room for us to go in and kind of
scoop
out at the moment. My mind has literally gone blank today. I can't think of anything today. Oh gosh,
it's really hard because they're so compacted together. And then when you're trying to go in with a manual tool, because we've talked about these layers of skin that have come away from the canal wall. So basically they're starting at the canal wall and coming in like this. So when you're trying to get a tool in, ideally that you need to get it between that fresh skin layer, that's sort of the healthy skin layer underneath, and the first layer of dead skin. But it's so compacted, it's really difficult to get in there. And when it's putting pressure like that on the canal walls, what happens then is you start to, sort of when you put a little bit of pressure, especially on bones, what you get is you get this sort of almost like a bit of a breaking down and not so much sort of crumbling away, but you'll get all the, I can never remember, there's osteoblast and osteoclast, I can never remember which way around it is, to be honest. But basically, what they'll go in is they'll sort of taking those bony deposits and reusing them elsewhere. So what you get is these kind of divots and these craters in the canal wall with that constant pressure on that is it periosteum, I think it is, on the outermost surface of the bone, and that basically is just a reducing blood supply, and it just causes this kind of this slowly degrading or slowly sort of remodeling canal. It's a bit like if you ever see a river passing through rock and things like that. You get these kind of channels that start just with this slow kind of attrition of it, and that's kind of what it happens, but it's more to do with pressure, if you like, on this one.
Yeah, but it's very, very difficult. When they're at their later stages, they are very tricky to remove. And you can kind of tell the ear canal, just where that big thick plug starts, it almost dips a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think this is all stuck down in the ear canal there, and that's why I can't really get a good grip. But I'm starting to get a little bit of a wiggle, but you can see it's really, really holding on.
Yeah.
It's not giving us much give.
I did see you try and go in with the forceps, because sometimes if you can actually see the physical separation of the layers, or you can actually see the differentiation of the layers of skin in there, you can go in and you can just grab an edge, and if you're lucky and it's hardened up enough, it'll pull almost like a bit of a layer out, and that gives you a little bit of space, and then you can keep doing this. But when it's this compacted, you try and move one side or the other, you haven't really got the wiggle room there to be able to go in and out. Always much, much harder to do these. Satisfying to do. I like, because we differ, I like things like eardrum peels and Keratosis Obturans. You're not that fussed, Theo.
I am not the biggest fan, to be honest.
I think you're more of a you like harder wax kind of removals, don't you? Yeah, for me, I like the kind of more difficult, awkward stuff. As long as I can get to it.
Ones.
Yeah, the more challenging stuff I quite enjoy doing. I think this is probably a good call. I think you can, suction sometimes you can hold it. It just doesn't have the grip, does it, to be able to pull that out.
And I've started to create a little bit of a gap there now.
Oh,
that's what I was on about earlier, and I still can't think of the name of it. It's gone. My mind's literally gone blank today. It will probably come to us by the time we get to the end of the video, but I'm not trying to pull it out here, but I'm just trying to detach it. You can see that. So that's not what we've got there. That's not where we've kind of damage the ear, but that's where the ear is trying to repair itself. It's
where we talked about those, that you have to get between that fresher skin layer, that new skin layer. That's what you see in there, is that new skin layer, and those blood vessels that come to the surface. And then what you've got is almost like you're almost like debriding. You're taking away that dead skin above it, and as you're pulling away, what's happened is it's just lifted that sort of first layer and just irritated that first layer of fresh skin. And as it's coming away, all the blood vessels are just there, because that skin is paper thin. So what you've ended up with, you're just taking that away, and it's just left a little bit of a bleed there.
So we slowly detach it. We're slowly getting there. We are getting there slowly. That's really bugging me. I can't think of the that.
Stop thinking about it. It's one of those things that comes to you when you start thinking about it.
Yeah, it probably will. Yeah, mine's gone blank. Ooh, forceps are in there now.
Yeah, it's probably a good shout actually, if you can get enough of a grip. Oh, you've got the grip. It also depends on how far back it goes as well, because how much of attachment there is to the skin all the way along. I mean, this is a long one to watch, but it's also quite an interesting one to get through, because you'll be surprised just how much skin they will accumulate in here. But look how tough that is. You can see as Taylor's lifting there, how that tissue underneath, how that layer of skin underneath is just hanging on to those canal walls and to this central plug as well. Look at that, he's really going for that. It's talking like, Taylor's really going for that.
I'm right with you. Yeah, it's you can't see it on the videos, but you almost get like a kind of a feel when you're using a set of forceps. You can either feel if you've got you can see if you've got a good grip. Yeah. But you can also feel the resistance as you start to pull it slightly. But just breaking little bits away at the moment.
You'll know if you've got the right bit, because it almost feels like, what's a good way of describing it? It almost feels like you've got a pinch on a bit of rubber.
Yeah.
That's what that kind of, you almost
Yeah.
feel this kind of like this sort of springy nature to the skin where it's got these thick layers. So when you get that feel, you know you've got a good grip, but sometimes you'll be holding on and you know the grip is good and you're wiggling back and forth, but there's just so much attachment all the way around the canal that you just can't detach it well enough to pull the whole thing out.
So slowly, we're kind of chipping away. We're taking little tiny bits away, which is not ideal, but you know, it is slowly coming. God, you can see just how thick it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that, I can see the piece you're holding on to all the time, that one bit, but you'll because it's the forceps don't always, because you've got this almost, you come up against almost a solid wall of skin. So when you're trying to put the forceps in, what you try and do, you try and like get a bit that's jutting out, and the forceps just can't penetrate into the piece behind it to allow you to get enough of grip into the jaw. Yeah, a lot of the time I'll try with forceps, but I'll have to revert back to, you know, right curette, right hook, just to work those edges.
Yeah, so I've resorted to popping a bit of oil in here now, just to try and get around and underneath the you know, this plug. Yeah. Just to try and get it a bit more mobile, because I am struggling with this one at the moment. It's we said this the other day, didn't we? We said, oh, right. Reese was saying, I'm getting loads of difficult ones. Like, give them to Taylor.
Oh, yesterday. Oh, you know, well, if you've ever had it, like in clinic, there are names you see like coming in. You think, oh, yeah, that's a difficult one to do. I know that's a difficult one. Yesterday, I read my clinic list. I think the first 4 patients, I was like, I know that name. I know that name. I know that name. I know that name. I was like, oh, that is going to be a tough morning. I thought it's okay. The afternoon, I got a bit of a gap by the cancellation, and I looked after lunch, and the next patient, I was like, oh, I know that one as well. Nightmare.
We all get them.
Yeah, it was a tough day yesterday, but in fairness, all my patients are lovely, but their wax is really difficult to do, bless them.
Yeah. God, look at it. This does not want to go anywhere, this.
No.
And you have to bear in mind, as well that, you know, these patients that we're doing these procedures on, they're not under any form of anaesthetic or, you know, the ear is not numbed. So we're just literally just going straight in. So, you know, it's a very, very sensitive area, very, very sensitive kind of procedure as well. You know, there are a lot of patients who have had it done regularly who are just completely used to it and they're absolutely fine. But, you know, especially when it's a patient's first time, you've got to kind of approach it as you know, be a little bit more kind of cautious for the first one. And when they get used to it, they're a bit more, you know, they kind of, take to it a bit easier then.
Yeah, it's like everything. It's the fear of the unknown a lot of the time. You know, patients come through and they've never had a wax removal procedure done.
Yeah.
Or is that a bit of movement there? I can't tell. I don't know. It's just the pressure.
I think I probably just pushed it back.
I think you probably have just there looking at that. It's difficult because, like, ideally you'd want to go in now with like a right hook or something in the middle. But when we talk about these layers of skin, a lot of the time that any type of hook, not just the right hook, but any type of hook will pull through those layers of skin. When you just won't get that. If it was a chunky, solid, thick plug of wax, you can get behind it or get into it and pull it. With this, you'll tend to find the any type of hook will just go like that and just pull straight through the centre.
Yeah.
You can see where we're pressing now against the side of the canal wall. So that's not a fresh bleed. That's the blood that was already, you could see that was already there. Loose, and as we lift, as Taylor's pushing down.
Oh.
So that helps. Anything you get out there helps, doesn't it? It really does make a big old difference. You can see how it's unraveling. We talked about these, we keep banging up at these layers of skin, but you can see how they're all unraveling there now.
Yeah.
That's sheared. No, that's sheared off. But, you know, you've got another edge to work on, so that's good.
No.
Okay, we did have an edge. We did have an edge to work on. But you've got a nice set. You've got a nice piece that's come out the centre now. So it's whether you can slide another layer out.
Starting to get a bit tired as the video goes on as well, so you might start to see a little bit more shaking as you go.
Yeah, our arms are kind of up here a lot of the time, and it's when you got a long one like this with no break, it's always tough. But you seem to be getting behind something there. There's something that you're getting a grip on to pull forwards.
I'm putting a little bit of pressure, and it's
they're always the same, aren't they?
Yeah, it's really tricky.
You can see where you're trying to lift him out of that
Yeah.
gap. Because the problem you've got is if you imagine if your ear canal's nice and smooth and you're putting pressure on this end, you're going to push this out that way. If your ear canal's like this, what you're going to do is as you put pressure, that's all you're going to be doing is pushing down into that sort of crater that's almost there. It's not going to be giving you that sliding effect you're looking for.
And I think that's literally what the trouble that we've got because of that little dip. I can't get that.
Can't get that really good scooping motion you normally would get. Good one to start Waxment with though, guys. I can't promise they're all going to be 25 minutes long.
No.
But last year, I think we really struggled because we were super busy. We really struggled with Waxment. And we just didn't have the time to get everything out. And I think we were doing it was like single patient videos, much shorter. Coming up in this Waxment this year though, guys, what we do have is we've got a lot longer videos. You're going to be, I think they're minimum of 10-minute videos every single day. Oh, so you are going to be spoilt rotten as well coming up there for the next sort of 24 days. You're going to be really spoilt with everything that's coming up.
Oh, look how raw that is.
It is, bless them.
And again, that's where that skin is trying to repair, and then it's shedding, and then I am checking with the patient at this point, because I can see obviously that it looks quite, sensitive. It looks quite raw. We are always checking, how is this? Is this uncomfortable? And, fair play.
It all the way along, bless them.
Patients going, no, it's fine. Keep going. So they do, they got quite I wouldn't say a high pain threshold, because some patients can't actually feel, even though it looks really uncomfortable, they probably, if anything, it's probably a relief having this, taken out.
Sometimes you get with what they call, this is a classic cholesteatoma, but sometimes you get ear canal cholesteatomas, which are, that's nasty, and you are literally tapping on bone with some of the suction tubes and things, and patients just don't feel it. They get the sensation of it, but they don't. The sensation is more like the sound traveling through rather than the actual feel of it. Yeah, hard one coming up.
Oh. See, it's mostly detached. This front section, we've managed to...
It looks more mobile, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've managed to peel it away. It's moving a little bit more, but we've just got to try and get a good enough grip to squeeze it through that that entrance of the ear canal there. Let us know as well, guys, if you've got any plans over Christmas. Let us know if there's any, if you're doing anything exciting.
Yes, that would be
Give me some ideas.
Yes. Or even things that you guys would like to see coming up over Waxvent as well. Oh, wow, that's going to be a beast.
Ooh, oh, I didn't hold it. This is obviously before you told me to hold it. So you get that's there. So you can see at the bottom there. That's where we said about that kind of remodeling there. So you can see all the little bumps and dips. This, to be fair, was done a long time ago before you shouted at me.
Oh dear.
So these little bits here now are just a walk in the park compared to the what we've removed already. Patients feeling instant relief after that. Look at that. Oof.
That's a heck of a lot of remodeling. You will see that piece of skin, that big old skin plug, at the ruler shot at the end of the video as well, guys. So just keep an eye out for that one.
And this is just not quite as much on the other side.
That looks suspiciously like you've got that sort of divot there, that dip.
Still quite tough.
Well, see, this is how the other side would have started, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But wow, my goodness me. I would...
Granulation tissue.
Ah!
It's come to me. Just popped in my head. Just come to my head. It's popped in there.
There you go.
Granulation. That's what I was on about earlier. So all that redness, that kind of where the blood has come to the surface, that's normally the granulation tissue. So that's where the ear is trying to heal itself. Yeah. But it just hasn't managed to do it fully. You've got this.
I'm sure this is exactly the same problem on this side, because look at that right hook is going in there.
Deep.
And that's not even, but you can see you're trying to force it upwards. That's not budging.
I'm probably going to have to go around the side here, see if that's loose.
I bet it's not.
Probably not.
We can't see how long is left of the video as well, guys. So we're not cheating. We did that. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there you go. Is he gonna roll?
Oh.
Yes.
It's that depth perception.
It is. It's whether you go right hook back there now and pull him forwards, isn't it?
Oh, it's tough though, isn't it? Look at that.
Now this is how this was how the other side originally started. But my goodness me, how long had that other side been building for then to be that that thick? I know skin builds quicker, but my goodness me.
I honestly can't remember. Yeah, I know. This procedure wasn't actually done recently. I probably did this like 6 months ago maybe.
We've been adding to this folder for a little while. Excuse me, sorry guys. Tea went down the wrong way. Yeah, it is trying to find that right spot. Oh, there you go. That's quite nice. Forceps on that now. Oh, no.
Oh, no, obviously not.
Oh, I think you felt that you could get another twist out of it.
Come on. Yeah, it's just a thick layer, this one, basically. It's
see exactly the same issue there. Like, see where it's just attached there,
just on the edge, look. So that one is actually a little bit of a, minor little bleed where I've just tried to bring this round the corner. Patient's fine though, didn't feel a thing. Fair play to them. And like I said, if anything, I know it looks quite barbaric, to be honest, but you know, these patients are, you know, they're so like over the moon when it's done. You know, they're relieved, and it's we do mention to the patients that this has happened. You know, we don't just leave it there and just kind of say, oh, oops. You know, we do say keep an eye on it. If it does continue to bleed or cause any problems, you know, we send them straight to the GP.
Yeah.
But generally they won't really cause any problems, these. But
it's coming now though.
Here it comes.
Wow. Oh, not as deep as I thought it was going to be, actually. I really thought, actually we're still going though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still, there it is. You can see how you really got to peel that out. Now, this type of problem, because I expect a lot of you are asking in the comment section, well, you know, why do you get this kind of problem? A lot of the time it can be things like infection.
Yeah.
We've banged on the channel about epithelial migration and movement of skin in the ear canal, okay? So how the skin migrates from the deepermost portion of the ear canal to the outermost portion of the canal. And in most people, that process works really effectively, it doesn't have any issues, and it works brilliantly. But in some patients, and this can be down to lots of different factors, basically, it doesn't always migrate out particularly well, and then it sits in situ, and it just hardens in situ. So what you end up with, and the most common types of problems, is people who've had repeated infections. So it leaves slight scar tissue on the canal wall, or you know, operations, anything like that, where there's been scarring left to the skin, and it can certainly interrupt this epithelial migration, and you can get this kind of real problem like you've got here, where everything just sits in place and just sits there and hardens up, and that's what's happened here.
Yeah, not an easy one.
I can see you trying to detach that one side there.
Trying to get that a little bit at the top as well. So I was kind of hoping it was going to just draw everything else forwards if I could loosen it.
Forceps, yeah, it's got to be on there.
It's got to be.
It's dropped back into
and
place.
I put a little bit of oil in as well.
Sometimes it can help.
Little oil bubble popped then.
It's trying to find the edge, isn't it? At the minute?
Oh, started to lift a little bit then.
That's a better grip.
Yeah. Gently now. I got it. You can see
bottom
that.
Pull in as well. The whole lot's attached together.
We've got a nice little. There we are. That should be a good enough grip to at least get this peeling away now.
Come on, that's coming from the deeper section as well.
Come on. Oh, you can tell. Like this is something we're pulling on. You can just tell how hard these are gripping, and you know how hard they're holding on. Oh, that should be a good one there now. Back in there now. Get that good grip of that centerpiece. There you go. That should be it. Ooh.
Not quite. It's nearly.
I just don't want to push it back in any further.
I know, because the last thing we'll do is settle it back into place when you fought that long to get it out. This, you know, to get it away from that. It's kind of natural resting place, isn't it?
Oh, look at that. There you go.
Wow.
Whoosh.
And it brought the other section forwards as well, by the looks of it.
So this again has got that big dip, that remodeling in the ear canal.
Like you would be saying to this patient that we need to see you at least every 6 months now, definitely. You know, and because you saw how hard this one was, and this was nowhere near as kind of full up and hardened up as the other side. So you know, definitely seeing every 6 months, because it's still tough to get that out.
There we are. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, look at that.
That is a hell of a lot, isn't it?
6 centimeters.
2¼ inches.
You can tell how long this was. We had white
tissue paper back there. Well, guys, that is the end of day 1 of Waxvent. We can have Carl's going to need to lie down now. Well, thank you very much for watching our video again today, guys. Don't forget, if you do enjoy the videos, smash that subscribe button, follow the channel, do those kind of things. And what you'll get then is you'll get a notification every single time we post a new video. Don't forget, there is a video like this coming up for the next 20 some odd days of December as well. So guys, as always, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. And myself and lovely Miss Tig Green will see you for day 2 of Waxvent.